The 2026 classic car auction season is getting into its stride. We're here at the end of January at SWVA down at Poole in Dorset, and in this video we're going to do our usual thing of picking out a few cars to have a closer look at, including this 1966 Triumph Vitesse 6, which has been used as someone's daily driver, this 1973 Jaguar E-type V12 2+2, and this Vauxhall Calibra that's had one owner for the last 29 years. And as usual, we'll follow these cars through to auction and see how they got on when they went under the hammer. There's still a lot of BMW E30 Cabriolets about, but I doubt you find many that are as honest and original and probably as low mileage as this one. This car was originally registered in Guernsey, and that's where it lived up until 2014 when it was brought to the UK and registered over here. It's only done 69,000 miles from new, and the other thing is it comes with everything: full service history, it's got the book pack with it, it's got the original BMW toolkit, and looking inside, it just looks really nice. You know, there's not that wear on the bolsters you get with these sort of Recaro-y style seats. I love the way the roof folds down completely flat at the back. Obviously there was the Bauer conversion before this, which was sort of vaguely T-top-ish, but this one I do really like these. Estimate wise, £7,000 to £8,000. Yeah, we know E30s are strong money. I reckon it should do that, shouldn't it? Let's find out.
At 13.4 online then for the second. The hammer is up. 13.4 online.
This, would you believe, was somebody's daily driver for the last 3.5 years. Yes, really. 1966 Triumph Vitesse 6. So it's a sort of Triumph Herald on steroids. Going to get roasted for that, aren't I? This one, yeah, it's been out and about, and it is so tidy, and it's had money spent on it recently in all the right places. It's had an alternator conversion instead of the original dynamo. It's had money spent on the cooling, the brakes, and so on. And as I said, someone's daily driver. It's got MOT on it until June 2026, and it's got a fantastic history file with it, including MOTs going back to 1974. What's not to like? And this one is up for an estimate of just £3,000 to £4,000, which doesn't seem a lot for me for a car in this condition. It's got, you know, it's got that nice straight six 1600cc engine. Yeah, the interior's nice. Well, you know, I think it'll smash that, but let's find out. And actually, I'm going to be bidding on this for a friend, so let's see how we got on.
447. 48 on the telephone over there. 48. 49 do you want? At 48 is in the phone in the hall. At 48. At 48. At 48 is in the hall. We're selling 49 online. Fresh bidder. £5,000 double money. At £5,000, £5,000, £5,000. 5-1. 5-1. 5-1. 5-1. No, he's shaking his head. At 5-1. At 5-2 to my left there. But a second. Are we all done? 5-2 in the corner, one big wonder, number 8, thank you.
If you're a subscriber to the channel, you probably know I'm a bit of a Ford guy at heart, and if you're not a subscriber, good time to click that button. Now, this 1990 Ford Sierra XR 4x4i really has caught my eye. It does look in remarkable conditions. Sierra, yeah, I took one apart to build my kit car, and that was rotten nearly 25 years ago, and that was the same age as this. This one does look nice. The bonnet looks like it needs a bit of a cut and polish, but otherwise it presents nicely and it looks honest. You know what I mean? It has that just feel to it. This one, it had been off the road since the late noughties and then was recommissioned last year, which means it's got MOT now through to September 2026. Estimate wise, £4,000 to £5,000. Yeah, it should do that, shouldn't it? Sierras are definitely on the up. And yeah, okay, it's not an early model with those sort of recessed headlights and blank grille and so on, but you know, I think someone's going to fall in love with this.
50 in the hall, 37.50. That's the offer. 37.50. That's the big provision. Your number, please, sir.
The Mini Cooper shape needs no introduction, does it? You look at that grille, you look at the headlights, those mini light wheels. This one is no ordinary Mini Cooper. As you can see, it has been converted into a desk, and what, you know, the ultimate thing for maybe a home office or a man cave. Now these, I didn't realise quite how much you need to invest to buy one of these new. You need to supply your own car, your own Mini, and that is, you're going to be presented with a bill for £8,500. Yeah, for that money I want it running and driving. This one's come to auction, it's come from a local dealership, and it is up for £3,000 to £4,000. Even at that money, I still want it running and driving, but then when it comes to my daily drivers, I'm a bit tight. But let's see if someone falls in love with it when it goes under the hammer.
Any advance on 16, that's the bid. That's what we're going to hold, that's £1,600. Right.
Right, I'm going to paraphrase a 1980s Buggles hit here. The hot hatch killed the coupe star, because you remember prior to the Calibra coming along, there was all the Capris and the Mantas and so on, and you know, these front wheel drive coupes never really took off, did they? There was this, the Ford Probe and so on. This one, 1995, and comes from some really nice provenance. It's been in one ownership for 29 years, and the owner prior to that was actually the dealer who had it as a demonstrator. Had a reach-ray back in 2022, and that cost, with some other work, in around about £4,000. So it's had a few quid spent on it. It's got nice touches, it's got the black leather inside, it's got a factory fitted sunroof. Remember those? We used to love those, didn't we? I didn't realise these were actually produced for so long. It was launched back in 1989 and continued in production through to 1999. And this particular one is only done 97,000 miles. So, you know, for a car this age, that's not a lot. And it's coming up with no reserve. So let's see how it got on.
At 2,050 to my left there, but a second, hammers up, 2,050 there.
Right, don't just skip on because you're thinking, oh God, another BMW Z3 shitbox. This is a really nice one, low miles, good history, etc, etc. Now, this one from 1998, it's got the 1.9 four-cylinder engine under it, and it's just really nice. It's got service history, it's got MOT through to March, so it is effectively ready to go. It's been owned by the current owner for 9 years. It's got a really nice condition, red leather interior, none of that wear on really on the bolster that you would expect to see. It's just a nice tidy little thing, and you know, I'm sure these Z3s will start to come back up in the money. They have really, they can't bottom out any lower, can they? And this one, no reserve, so someone could well pick up a bargain. Let's find out.
15 in the hole there, but a second, hammers up, 15, your number please.
Now, it wouldn't be one of my auction review videos if we didn't have Kit Car Corner, and this time it is a Tiger Avon, and this one is particularly nice. This was built in 2014 from a complete kit of new parts. It got a Ford Zetec engine under the bonnet, and I think the bill was something like £15,000 from Tiger. And Tiger is a well-renowned company within the kit car world. They've been around a long time and do produce some really nice products. Now, this one has done less than 2,000 miles, it's had only 2 owners, and it just presents really, really nicely. Me personally, I put a windscreen on it. I've got a Lotus 7 style car, and I drove it for a while without a windscreen, and I was so relieved when I put one on. Estimate wise, this one is up between £6,500 and £8,000. Yeah, I think that should do that. I think you get an awful lot of car here for not that much money, but let's find out.
Any advance on 7, not to my commission, but out £7,000, that's the bid, 7 on the phone.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Quick change from our normal routine because basically I've messed up. There were 3 cars here which really overperformed when they went under the hammer, and I just want to quickly show them to you. This MGB GT LE was estimated at £4,000 to £5,000. It's sadly from deceased estate. It's in really, really nice condition. The distinctive pewter colour really stands out. Let's see how it got on.
I'm 9.4 on my commission then, but a second, anybody else? On commission, 9.4.
Another car that did well, sorry background noise, they're moving cars around already. Another car that did well, this is Royce Corniche, estimated at £25,000 to £30,000, despite having £40,000 worth of invoices on file, 30,000 of them since 2017, so this one's been well looked after, also got a fully stamped service book. Let's see how it got on.
At £38,000 then in the hole there, but a second, hammers up, 38,000 in the hall.
And the last of our overperformers is this Citroen DS Pallas. DS, of course, is a goddess in French. This one's got a lovely feel about it. Looks really honest. Nice patina on the leather interior. And it was estimated at 12 to 14,000. So let's see what happened.
At £15,800 online there for the second. Thumbs up. 15,800 online.
Now back to our show.
It's quite rare to see one of these early discoveries unmolested. Normally they've got the front and back overhangs chopped off and being chucked through some muddy field somewhere. This one is really nice, and of course, you know, the Discovery, when it was launched, it was like the budget Range Rover. I'm sure I'll get roasted for that comment. This one comes from good ownership. It's been in the same hands for 10 years. It's got the petrol V8 3.9 under the bonnet. So, okay, yeah, it will pass everything but a petrol station, but, yeah, how often do you find one like this in this condition? One little funny story from my past. One of the companies I worked for had these as the sort of vehicle of choice for middle management. There was a list of cars, but there was always one that stuck out. And these in green were the choice of middle managers, until we had a meeting at head office and there was a whole line of them down the car park, and the MD, seeing this out of his window, declared, "We're not a bunch of farmers," and by the end of the day it was off the list. Anyway, my ramblings aside, let's see how it got on when it went under the hammer.
4850 there for the second. Hammers up. 4850, you got your number, please, sir.
Classic Minis, generally good news at the moment, and especially when it comes to the run-out John Cooper model. It seems that I've found various numbers on this. This is number 23 of 250, maybe 300 cars, and you know, this is right at the end of the original production, so run-out cars always generally is something that people want to hunt down. This one, 1999, and it's done just 38,000 miles, and one of the reasons for that is it's been effectively off the road since 2010. It had a little renaissance in 2020 where it did get an MOT, but has then been parked up since, so it's going to need a little bit of recommissioning and an MOT to get it back up on the road. I think the estimate on this one of 8 to 10 is probably about right, so let's see what the bidders thought of it.
12,250 online there for the second. Thumbs up. 12,250.
Who doesn't like an E-type? And this 1973 Jaguar E-type 2+2 V12 does look really glorious. My only thing is, I understand why the roofline is that shape for the 2+2, but for me it just doesn't look, it doesn't look as cohesive as I think as the original design. But hey, personal opinion, I like the sort of slightly flared arches on these later models, but that roofline I've never been comfortable with. This one is a USA import, came into the UK in 2016, fully registered, ready to go, but of course is left-hand drive. It's got a nice biscuit coloured interior, and it just all round looks really tidy, and I like the colour actually. When I saw it in the pictures I wasn't sure, but seeing it up close it does look really nice. And don't worry about the little markings around the front, around the headlights. That's the Daimler Sovereign in front has coughed all over it, shall we say. This one is up for an estimate between £25,000 and £30,000. Yeah, it should do that, shouldn't it, surely? I know it's a compromise because it's left-hand drive, etc, etc. However, you know, it is really nicely presented, this one. But let's find out what happened when it went to the auctioneer.
At 21.5, that's the offer of 21.5. That's the bid. 21.5.
We always like to include a bit of a project car, and this time round it's a Mazda MX-5 from 1994. Well, actually I should say Eunos Roadster, because this one is an import. Came to the UK in 1998 and has only actually had 4 owners since then. Done 109,000 miles, so it's not really been around the block. Corrosion wise is the question you got on your mind. I've seen an awful lot worse. It's got quite bad rust at the back of the front wings, but I've had a rummage sort of along the seals and so on, and as I say, I have seen a lot worse than this being offered for sale. This one's been parked up for about 6 months. Its MOT expired in November 2025, and I don't believe it's been put in for another one, so it's going to need a little bit of love and attention before it goes back on the road. But as often the case with projects, this one is up for no reserve. So let's see what happened when it was thrown to the bidders.
First, 475 there, but a second in the hole, 475.
So that concludes our video here at SWVA in Poole. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please do consider giving that subscribe button a click, and I'll catch you next time. Then as usual, we will follow these cars and it's had try again, twat. So at the moment do give that subscribe